Ladies and gentlemen, I think I am ready to come to a conclusion. And that's not a good thing, right? In general, coming to conclusions before things are finished is bad. The conclusion hasn't happened yet, so why come to it yourself mentally? But today, I wanted to say that the Montreal Canadiens, unfortunately, do not deserve to move on. And I acknowledge that this can change. That narrative can improve over the next few games. But based off of what we have seen in games 2 and 3 of the Montreal Canadiens in their series against the Carolina Hurricanes, they don't deserve the win. Now, big shout out over to Patrick Bissonnette, as well as, who do we have over here? Titan King Inc., who have both just subscribed to the YouTube channel, and they're doing this right as I'm recording this video, so thank y'all for your support. I'm recording this at 10:23 p.m. Vancouver time. It's a lot later. The game just wrapped up 2-something hours ago, and the reason for that is because I was out and about on a trip. I told y'all in today's Nick Suzuki, Jake Evans prevented trade video that I was going to be out and about, so I did not watch Montreal Carolina game number 3 as it happened live. Instead, I was listening to the radio, and we listened to the entire overtime broadcast up until the Svechnikov goal. We also caught a little bit of the end of the third. But the narrative that I was seeing all over my social media timeline, I did see the goals, of course, because those were posted everywhere. The narrative that I was seeing from a lot of Canadiens fans was, man, that game was a game where Montreal deserved the loss. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape right here. So game 3. In Montreal, Eastern Conference Finals, obviously the first Eastern Conference Finals game in Montreal with a full building in over a decade. Like 2021, yeah, that counts, that was in the Bell Center, but it wasn't the Eastern Conference Finals technically, and the building wasn't full. It was all locked down for reasons that we all are aware of. But if we take a look at the Money Puck deserve to win-o meter from this game right here, you'll see that the Carolina Hurricanes, they absolutely had their way with Montreal, and that's reflected not only in the deserve to win-o meter and the expected goals of the game. Carolina had 3.8 expected goals, Montreal had 1.85. Taylor Hall especially went off on the Canadiens in terms of the quality of chances he was able to get. But it's also purely reflected when you look at the actual shots and opportunities. Let's head over to the box score and we'll see right here that the Montreal Canadiens, in the third period of this game, they had themselves a total of 1 shot. In overtime of this game, they had themselves a total of 1 shot. Now, I understand that this is what Carolina likes to do. They suffocate their opponents. Their defense is the best defense in the league, a motto that we were questioning after Game 1, when the Hurricanes dropped a pretty embarrassing defeat at the hands of the Canadiens. But when Carolina is playing their game, this is what they do. They overwhelm the opponent. They make it so that teams like Montreal, who, by the way, have already had issues throughout the course of this playoff run in getting shots on goal, they make it so that the Habs have the most difficult time ever actually shooting the puck and actually getting chances. Now, that's not to discredit what we actually did see. I think that the point that I made a few videos ago, talking about how as long as the Canadiens just improve 10% game by game, they do have a great chance of getting things done and winning, I think that sentiment is still true. Case in point, look at what happened at the beginning of overtime. Nick Suzuki comes in with a really great opportunity, but he doesn't hit the net. He doesn't score. He doesn't get it by Freddie Andersen. It doesn't go off the goalie and in. It's a great chance, but it does not count towards anything. And that, I think, bleeds into the overall narrative that says, hey, the Montreal Canadiens, they're down 2-1 in this series, yes, But 2 of those games went to overtime. You have Nick Ehlers and you have Andrei Svechnikov back-to-back overtime wins for the Carolina Hurricanes. You want to talk about teams that haven't lost 2 games in a row? Well, guess what? That's the Carolina Hurricanes. Montreal, they hadn't lost 2 games up in a row until today. So that record was really being battled for today in this Eastern Conference Finals matchup. But I think the same element still applies, that the Montreal Canadiens, they did not deserve to win today's game. They didn't deserve it. But they were still close. They were right there. They were 1 shot away. And granted, they didn't take any shots in the final 20, 30, 40-something minutes of this game. They had 6 shots in the second, 5 shots in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in overtime. 13 total. That is not good enough. And the Montreal Canadiens, we have seen when they are good enough, they play really exciting hockey. They get chances. They have guys that are coming in full force. Even in this game, they had goals. Granted, they were all from defensemen, so that's maybe not ideal. You want to see your forwards coming out there and contributing offensively a little bit more, but still, Matheson, Hutson, Noah Dobson had a goal taken away. Montreal would have won in regulation had Cole Caulfield actually held possession of the puck on the zone entry there. So lots of what ifs and coulda, shoulda, wouldas from this game number 3. But at the end of the day, the Montreal Canadiens lose in an effort where they just didn't deserve to win. They were close, but they didn't deserve to win. At the end of the day, the proper team won. And I think a lot of fans outside of Montreal are thinking the same thing, especially when you consider the way the puck bounced and just kind of the way everything went in overtime, the missed too many men call that probably should have been called. What is it with these referees and too many men not getting called nowadays? First it was the Olympics with the Czechs, I'm pretty sure. Then it was the Americans, and then it was this game 3, Montreal versus Carolina. Let's actually talk about the goals, because that's a pretty important part of what happened, isn't it? So, opening goal of the game, it's Shayne Gostisbehere who gets things going with a snapshot. He ends up getting the puck on the left side, I'm pretty sure it is. Let's just watch the replay over here. There it is. Yeah, he gets the puck on the left side. He fires it. It goes by Jakub Dobes. Really nice play over there. Mike Matheson then ties it up with his second goal of the playoffs, assisted by Ivan Demidov and Jake Evans. He ends up getting the puck on the right side. Demidov right back to Matheson. He walks in, he shoots, and he scores. Freddie Andersen, he's letting in those shots from distance. I'm pretty sure everybody has been noticing that as well. Taylor Hall then makes it 2-1 for Carolina, and he gets himself a really nice opportunity out in front here too. Cross crease, Hall is on the back door. He gets the loose puck. He buries the biscuit in the basket. In the second period, you have Lane Hutson on the power play, who ends up finishing a beautiful passing play with Cole Caulfield. Hutson to Caulfield, back over Hutson to Caulfield to Hutson on the cross crease. Such a beautiful play. Such a beautiful goal. And the Montreal Canadiens tie things up with that marker. Noah Dobson then gets a third period long shot to go in by Freddie Andersen, but as we had noted, it was disallowed due to offside. And then Andrei Svechnikov in OT is able to finish everything. He gets the goal assisted by Seth Jarvis. Montreal, they get hemmed in their zone a little bit. Everybody's blaming Lane Hutson for the giveaway to Carolina, but inevitably, the Hurricanes just circle around in the Habs zone. It's passed out to Svechnikov. He shoots, he scores, and that's all she wrote. With that said, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Montreal Canadiens losing game number 3? I think another big thing that we can talk about is whether or not Noah Dobson's goal, which was disallowed, should have been disallowed, because the zone entry from Cole Caulfield was literally like 30 seconds beforehand. I guess that's a conversation we can have, but at the same time, those conversations have been happening for years. And it is just the name of the game that if it's offside, no matter when the entry was, how far away it was, it's going to count. And that's something that I think a lot of NHL fans have had to internalize over the past few years. So, I don't know. That's another element that I think plays a part into it. But at the end of the day, the Habs lost. And I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for the video coming out so late. And bye.